The San Antonio Spurs are going to shock the NBA. I'm going to say it right here, right now, guys. The San Antonio Spurs, they will make the NBA playoffs this season. They will end their 6-year playoff drought. Victor Wembanyama and company, they will take a big leap. I could see this team taking the NBA by storm, similarly to how the OKC Thunder did it a few seasons ago. I mean, I absolutely love the San Antonio Spurs team. They are loaded with young talent. And how about Victor Wembanyama? He spent this offseason training with NBA legend Hakeem Olajuwon, spending time with former NBA champion Kevin Garnett. Victor Wembanyama looks like he's going to have his biggest and best season yet. He is ready to absolutely dominate the NBA. And we know as long as Wemby is healthy for the full season, the Spurs are going to have a chance to beat anybody. We're going to talk about the San Antonio Spurs and why I absolutely love this team going into the season. I'm very high on them, as you can already tell. Do me a solid, guys. Drop a like on the video. Smash the subscribe button for more Spurs and NBA content just like this. So Wemby has been giving us a glimpse of what's to come. I mean, he's been absolutely dominating the competition during the preseason. I know it's just the preseason, but we're seeing a different Wemby. We're seeing a more physical Wemby. We're seeing a Wemby impose his will and doing what he wants out there. I mean, he had 27 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, a block in just 25 minutes of action in the Spurs' latest preseason game. And Dylan Harper, who made his preseason debut against the Jazz, he played in this one again. He had 11 points, 8 assists, almost had the double-double, 2 steals across 22 minutes of action. By the way, the Spurs did beat the Pacers to improve to a perfect 4-0 in the preseason. And Harper, he was one of 6 Spurs players to score in double figures. And he's looking very, very comfortable out there. I mean, you gotta love what you're seeing from Dylan Harper. I mean, his slashing ability, his quick handles. It's clear that he and Wembanyama, they're this team's future. It's gonna be amazing to see what these two can do. Harper, he could see an increased role to begin the season, as Fox could miss some time to begin the season. But there's no doubt that when it's his turn, I mean, the Spurs, they're going to be incredibly deep, and Harper's just going to give them more leeway in certain lineup combinations. And I just love how Harper, you look at his skill set, it complements Wemby perfectly. And I think that's going to be a partnership that's only going to get stronger as the years go on, as those are 2 young players that are going to help the Spurs team compete for championships very soon, I believe, in the near future. You look at Wembanyama, I mean, just having him for a full season, you know the Spurs are going to be improved. And his rise is truly something special. I think we could see a season in which Wembanyama solidifies himself as a top 5 player in the league. I mean, it's not crazy to think. I think we're a couple years away from Wemby being the best player in the league. Maybe 2 years away from that, but this is a year where Wemby can solidify himself definitely in that top 10, maybe even top 5, and I think he's going to have an absolutely monstrous season. I think he will get on the MVP ballot. I think he will have an all-NBA type season, and you look at what else surrounds him on the Spurs team, you're going to have Fox, Castle, Vassell. That seems poised to produce some solid results, and that's going to be one of the best 3-guard rotations in basketball. And you look at Castle, he's prepared for an even bigger role. And then you got other young players on this team, as I mentioned, Harper, but Sohan, Keldon Johnson. There's a lot of talent top to bottom. And I guess the one thing that the Spurs team is lacking is playoff experience, with the exception of Harrison Barnes and De'Aaron Fox. But, I mean, when you have Wemby out there, he gives this team the edge. And I think this is a year where it is going to come together for the Spurs team. And basically their path back to the playoffs, it will start on the defensive end. And I think with the return of Wembanyama, who led the NBA in blocks per game in each of his first 2 seasons, and he finished 4th in defensive estimated plus minus last year. And he was the odds-on favorite for Defensive Player of the Year, which is an award I think he definitely gets this season. But of course, didn't get it last season because he suffered that blood clot diagnosis. But you look at how good the Spurs are when Wemby's out there. They allowed 112.4 points per 100 non-garbage time possessions with Wembanyama on the floor last season. That's a top 8 mark in the league over the course of a full season. So if Wemby stays healthy for a full season, I think he gets onto that MVP ballot. Like I said, I think he can be an all-NBA, even first team. And you look at De'Aaron Fox, can he find his flow alongside Wemby? First full season together, can he return to that all-star form and provide San Antonio with a top 10 offense? I think Castle has a chance to really solidify himself as an elite two-way player in this game. And then, Harper, is he going to be able to show what he can do? And I think a limited role to begin with here, as he's just a rookie. We tend to forget that, but is he able to show that he can be the long-term running mate with Wemby? And I think he will show that. I mean, he's already shown what he can do on a very small sample size in the preseason. So you look at the Spurs, I mean, they're going to be expected to win. Like, they added some veterans, of course, Kelly Olynyk, Luke Cornett. I think those have been some nice pickups that not a lot of people are talking about. Just locker room guys looking at Olynyk, but also Cornett. I really love the addition that they made of him. The San Antonio Spurs, I see a world where they could win 50 games. They could take that OKC type leap and get into that top 6. And it's going to be hard because, of course, the Western Conference is very, very competitive, but we're already seeing it during the preseason. There are shades of what this team can become. And, with Wemby destined for a huge year. Obviously, he put the work in this summer. First and foremost, had to get healthy. He is healthy, which is awesome. I think there's a chance for the Spurs team to do something special. I really do. I think this is a team that's going to turn heads, and I think it's going to come together nicely for them. And, of course, they are going to need De'Aaron Fox to play at that level that he did when he helped the Kings break their playoff drought, and now he has a chance to do it here with the Spurs team that hasn't made the playoffs in a couple years now, but you could tell they are scratching the surface. And yeah, I think some other people would agree with me that this team, they're on the precipice of really taking that next step. And I think that next step for them is full season of Wemby, seeing what he can do. He's got the pieces around him. He's got the young talent. These are guys that are not just young players, but they're already able to contribute right away. I think we can see the San Antonio Spurs in the playoffs. And I'm super excited to see what year 3 of Wemby is going to bring, because I think it's not going to be long before we talk about Wemby being the best player in the game. You see it. Like, he just is getting better, which is scary. He's still so young. And this is going to be a season where we really see him burst onto the scene and take that next step when it comes to superstardom. So let me know your thoughts, guys. How do you feel about the San Antonio Spurs going into the season? Do you agree that they can be a playoff team, or do you think it's too soon? Do you think this is going to be another developmental type season for the Spurs, or do you think they're ready? Do you think they are ready to take that jump right now? Let me know your thoughts down below. Drop a like on the video, smash that subscribe button. That's it for me. It's Luke signing off. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you all again in the next one.